Muhammad Ali has a quote that says, "A man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life." I wonder if that quote applies to women as well. All right, so this is a lady who is she calls herself a divorce coach. And if your wife or your significant other is spending time on TikTok, they're probably getting relationship advice that sounds like this.
The very best piece of advice I've ever received about divorce came in the early days of my own divorce from a friend who'd never been divorced and, in fact, wasn't even married at the time. She said something so powerful, it really got in there, and it still rings true today, and I share it with my divorce coaching clients often. Here's the best piece of divorce advice I've ever heard. Your life is bigger than one man. Let's extend it. Your life is bigger than one relationship, one marriage, one moment in time. Even if that relationship comes with good intentions and oodles of love and big dreams and a home and kids and memories and vacations, what happens if you release your grasp that this relationship defines the whole of you and the whole of your life, to see what could come next, what is happening now? There was a time before this relationship. You are heading into the next part. What are the possibilities that extend far beyond this one person?
So, this kind of advice, it sounds like the kind of advice that you would give to a kid that's in a bad relationship in college, right? They're in a bad relationship. They really care about the person, or something is not going right, and they're thinking, I want to stay with this person, but things just, I don't feel things are working out. So what should I do? This advice would apply to that person. But to give this kind of advice to someone who's had 20, 25, 30 years of dating experience, or better yet, 10, 15 years of dating experience, and then get married and then think this way, it's extremely unfortunate. And not only that, but if you're in a marriage and you're having doubts about your marriage, this is not try and work it out, or let's see where I can compromise. This is go live like you're 25 again. That's exactly what she's saying. Pretend that you're 25, that you're 23 again. Pretend that you just graduated high school and date the same way. And it's fine. You can do that. But I think that this is just such, this really irresponsible. And what's so frustrating is that there's so many people signing on to this, like, you know what, speak your truth, sister, you're right on top of it. And this is just advice for misery. It just is. If you're in a relationship and there's something worse than just normal growing pains, I get it. But you know what, I'm gonna let you listen to some more of her, because man, take a listen.
You are not selfish if you want a divorce. You're not selfish if you want a divorce and you have kids. You're not selfish if you want a divorce and you have kids and they are not in high school, college, or out of the house yet. You're not selfish if you've been a stay-at-home parent and you feel entitled to half of the assets because you've contributed to the greater good of the family and not to the dollars that have added up in those accounts. You are not selfish if you're pursuing the bigger, happier, healthier life you're on this planet to live. You're not selfish if you've outgrown the relationship and you are seeking new experiences, jobs, travels, opportunities, and people. You are not selfish if you want to be alone. In fact, you are incredibly self-loving for putting your own needs at the center of your life. The more I hear my divorce coaching clients say that being selfish is a reason not to get divorced, the more I understand that this term has been used against women, and particularly mothers, to keep us under the control and in the systems of marriage and relationships that don't serve us. Let's stop using that term against other women, and especially ourselves.
So when me and other guys are talking about, the SYSBM, it's not about escaping black women. This is not a black women specific issue. This is a environmental issue. You can't have this kind of advice going into the ears of your wife when you're trying to build a family. You can't. She is essentially giving advice to a married person that has children. Do what you feel is right. Do what you want to do at this moment. Okay, it's fine, you can do that. But I mean, you saw in the thumbnail, you see what the state of, I mean, in the state of America now, where there's few marriages as there are left, to have this kind of coaching out there is just, it's just insane to me. That is insane. And oh my gosh, there are people on, you can't live your whole life like you're 20. You can't do it. And if you're a young lady and you're out here trying to recapture your youth, just don't get married and be single for your whole life, because if you choose to settle down, you're growing up. That's just it's a grown up decision. I want to raise a family. I want to have some stability, and I want to create a legacy that's, that goes past myself. And if you're thinking, I want to do what feels good, I want to do what makes me happy, okay, you can live like you're 25 when you're 60, but you're not 25, you're 60. And if you're a guy, you know that this kind of information is going to the wife of your ear every time you get a fight. I mean, what are your options? Your option is to have a really wise woman that can see the big picture and knows that this is noise, or you could go somewhere else and marry someone where this noise doesn't exist, which is what many people in this space suggest. So with that, guys, I don't think that I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's getting pretty close to have a healthy marriage in an environment where you have divorced women giving more bad advice to women that are in marriages that are struggling. Because you're going to have struggles. Marriage isn't fun. They don't call it fun. Just like they don't call work fun. Work is work and marriage is marriage. If it was partying, I'm going to get partied tomorrow, but it's not that. It's marriage, and marriage is work. And we probably could use more people out here saying you got to work in marriage, but that's not the country we live in these days, or at least that's not what America is these days. Anyways, with that said, guys, so this is one of my favorite videos. I want to recommend it because she talked about being selfish, but I want to tell you guys to be selfish. Hey, it is your chance to be selfish. Look out for you, do you, and be selfish, black man. With that said, please like, subscribe. You saw the subscribe marker. A subscribe would be really helpful. I'd really appreciate that. And with that, guys, I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and take care, guys.